There was a lot more that I was aware of in this three-part series that would have been much too much for my conscious mind to communicate through speech. And there were things that my conscious mind missed that looked like my unconscious mind missed as well, that my body decided to do on its own. So does it really matter? Maybe. Enjoy all three parts.
This one is called Becoming Aware. More specifically, becoming aware when you're eating fruit. So I've got a couple of pieces of fruit, some vegetables, we call them pickles, and some chips. Now, first of all, I'm becoming aware that when I eat fruit, I want something more hearty than just some fruit. So I found that a nacho cheese type of chip works great. After trying many kinds of things, anywhere from chips to crackers to anything else, meats or bread or anything. So that's what I like. So here we are. We're becoming aware. This is a yellow plum. Now, cut myself with this the other day, so I already became aware these types of knives are really sharp, which is probably why they come with a knife cover. So that's something I became aware of. Who designed it? I can maybe think about that. Now, the way I like to cut these is I don't really like the ends of things, so sometimes I'll just cut the end off like that, and then I'll just go like this. And oops, see, I didn't get it right. I didn't get it straight across, so I just became aware of that. So now I might have to adjust my cut or not on the other way. Again, these are all stuff that anybody wants to do, is on your own stuff. It's what's going to make you become aware. See, now that I've got a forecut, I go cut twice into each one of these, just kind of a straight down. Alright, you see how that fell off? Not what I wanted, I went too far. But now I adjust again. I don't want to eat the parts that aren't same color, so I cut those out. And there's my ends I cut off there. And this one's straight across because it's by itself. I became aware of how they were all set there. That one's good. Now what I do is I'll just cut this straight down. That way I don't get the ends. And normally I would eat this around, but I'm filming right now, so I'm not going to eat that right now. But then what I'll do here is I'll just take these and I'll cut them apart like that. Okay, if you become aware of any blemishes or anything like that that you don't really like to eat, then you just cut those out. Now, I know, see, I look through there, look for any labels. Now I know, there you go, I can eat these. I might have a blemish or two, but who cares? I've gone through it. I found no bruising, cut out the discoloration, any parts that I don't want. Now this will start to discolor the longer I sit. So there you go. Now I just use that for my plum. Do I care about washing it off, or I just want to rinse off some of the juice? Because it's all stuff. So here we go. We've got a tomato label. Now another thing, I don't like to eat the middles of tomatoes. So since this has a label here, I'll go ahead and cut this out. And one time I did cut a label off. It was further down, and I cut it out, and I ended up eating the piece. And I thought, well, where's the label? I didn't find it, so I found it later. There we go. We cut the middle out. Now I noticed and became aware that was kind of hard in there. So what I'll do here, put this over here. I'll just cut a nice little piece here. I became aware a long time ago how I like to cut tomatoes. I'll eat here around this end piece once I'm done to eat that little piece off. Then I'll cut the tomatoes. I'll watch and see how they are inside. Now I became aware a long time ago that I can get, depending on the size of the tomato, pretty good 3 size cuts at the end and then the ends here. Now I'll cut down here onto the meat part and get a nice thing to make it easy to cut, because I became aware I don't really care for the seeds or some of the meaty part because of the texture of it. So some of it's okay, some of it's not. So I cut those out and then cut little pieces off. This is how I do the end piece. So I became aware to do this way. Now, if I was learning this for the first time, all this stuff would be learning new to me. Right now, it's all stuff I've developed through years of eating food and what I like. Now, sometimes I'll leave some pieces in. I don't really like the seeds, like I say. Don't know why. So there we go. Now, in the interest of time, what I'll do here, because I enjoy salt, I got some salt here, and I'll just go like that and watch the salt as it falls. Now I also got to be aware that it doesn't go on my nice fruit over there. Okay, and there we go. I probably put too much on some of these, as you can see. This has a little bit more, this has a little bit more. I became aware of that as the salt was falling. again, now I have tomato juice on my knife. I become aware I need it off. It's all about becoming aware of every step. I'm going to go ahead and move this over because I became aware that just failed, so there's some dog hair on it. Put that off to the side. And you can see more hair on it. It's all pickles. I like the cool pickles that come into the jars that are refrigerated. I'll cut off the ends, of course. I like the miniature ones because another thing about pickles I don't like is the inside seeds. So I used to dig a knife and stuff and make it all nice, but I just cut triangles now due to time. So I became aware of how to cut the middles out quicker and more efficient that's acceptable to me by becoming aware of doing it, by just looking at it and seeing how things work and stuff like that. So that one I just became aware that I cut too close to it, so when I cut down I went a little bit off and made the other side cut it out. Here's the thing. Again, it does not have to be perfect. Okay? I maybe didn't get them all. Doesn't matter. I got it acceptable. So what I do is then sometimes I'll just transfer this all to a new plate and say, oh, that's not a new plate. Oh, here's a new plate. And say, there you go. There you go. There you go. Now I'm also aware that the ones with salt I might rub off on my hand a little bit and get some salt off on them so I don't get that nice little pucker face from the salt. So I can pretty much have a nice little snack, and here's my soup. And I'm aware now when I eat, I might want a bite of this. My mouth might be too wet. I might want to put some of this in. Maybe put some more crackers in because I ate too many crackers. Get a nice flavor of a tomato with salt, a little tartness of a pickle, a little sweet tartness of a yellow plum, and go back to the nacho cheese flavor. And all those are what makes your experiences. And becoming aware of everything as you go along also not only makes your experiences much better, but it also keeps your brain getting active enough and becoming aware throughout the day and hopefully into the night. So, on that note, I'm going to eat now. Good night and lucid dreams.
Thanks for watching. For more topics, please visit my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/mylucidlife.